Keep rolling, Mike. Welcome to Roast Mortem. I heard you're looking for the Candyman, bitch. I'm Tom.
I'm Travis. I would love a candy, please. One of them.
I am your pre-diabetic Cody. How are you?
I'm Mike, and I'm different.
There you go.
There you go.
Mike, do you have candy for me? I would love one of those Reese's Pieces.
Travis. I got a van. You want to get in the van?
Wait.
I mean, I got candy in the van. You want to get in
The van is made out of candy.
Yeah, I got to go for a ride.
Somebody once told me that I shouldn't go in vans.
He's from a long line of candy vanners. It's a German name, Van Candy.
No, one time my uncle was like, all right, we're all going on a vacation trip. Get in the van. I'm like, excuse me, I do not go in vans.
They're strangers, and they become friends. Am I wrong?
Very quickly.
Or am I right?
Do you really know anyone? That's my question. Could be your uncle, but do you really know it's your uncle?
What if your mom didn't tell you?
Yeah. Could be a stranger.
I have a restraining order, but here I am. I'm a real dad, you know?
Going with Dad. Dad's way cooler. He buys McDonald's.
Do you really know your dad?
That's a question for a lot of people. Good friend of mine doesn't know his dad.
All right. How's everyone's week?
Dadful.
I had a good week.
What'd you do this week, Mike?
It's kind of boring. Like, it wasn't that eventful, I feel like.
Wow. I guess everyone's about to shut off their podcast app right now.
I hate daylight savings. I will say that.
Oh,
when I get out of work, it's like dark out. And I don't know why we keep doing that. We're not farmers anymore. We have Amazon.
This is true. I like where Mike's head's at. We're not farmers.
You know?
I mean, Jeff Bezos rescued all the light. Now we don't even save it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ship it with 2 days to you.
All right. So I guess we're now an old person podcast because we're talking about candies and vans and then complaining about daylight savings. And what's wrong next? Nothing changes anymore.
Those goddamn boomers.
You know what's expensive? Stamps.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. The stamp price just keeps going up. They really have to take care of their own. They have to make sure those pensions can get paid off.
You're supposed to invest in forever stamps. Buy them now. They'll last forever.
Yeah, you need them this minute, even though they'll last forever.
Yeah.
All right, so what's up?
Nothing. Chilling. Good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even want to talk about my week.
Yeah.
Fuck that part.
How was your week, Travis?
Oh, thanks for asking, dog.
Oh, yeah, okay.
My week. I bought a coffee table.
Yeah, what's it made of?
It's made out of silver.
Pure silver? How big is it?
Fake silver.
Yeah, wow, okay. Keep going. What are you doing? What are you going to do with it?
It's culturally appropriated from the Ottomans.
Whoa.
It's very Ottoman looking.
Sick.
From the Ottoman Empire?
No, from like Ottomans, the chair. Like it's supposed to be an Ottoman, but it's my coffee table.
Welcome to the worst episode of Roast Mortem.
We have a lot of time to write this one. We don't have to pull the parachute just yet.
All right, I know you guys don't care, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I saw the movie Parasite.
What's that?
It's a Korean movie.
Yeah, it is the Korean one. Okay.
That movie kicks raw ass.
Yeah, it was good.
It looked too spookums to me.
It's not spooky. It's not for spooks.
Is it gross, though?
It's pretty gross at some
points. It sounds
points.
gross. Parasite just sounds gross.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's interesting. You know, it's scary because I'm like scared.
Yeah,
of shit like that. So it'd probably be freak me out.
What you're thinking right now, nothing to do with the movie. I'm not going to give away much. I would suggest going into it blind. But holy hell, that's how movies should be done. Every other movie that came out this year, gone. Throw it out.
No, there
Even
was
the
one
Joker?
movie that came out that I saw this week, Midsummer.
Oh, okay.
And that was also billed as a scary movie, but I thought it was great and romantic.
It was a comedy.
I don't know if he's fucking with us.
No, it
I don't
wasn't
know
a
who's fucking
comedy. It was just like, this is how everyone's life should be.
Midsummer was fucking hysterical. I thought that was the funniest movie. I
saw
liked
with.
it.
Spelled wrong.
Yeah. Of course I saw it. I loved it.
check it
I
out.
thought it was fucking hysterical.
It was pretty much just a rip of The Wicker Man, though.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, no one here,
Spoilers.
no one who listens to this podcast wants to hear our fucking smooth brain takes on movies.
I had the smoothest.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
like,
mean-
you've totally, like, put that server grease on the brain. Now you get,
Oh,
like,
the
that
sex
gnarly-
wax?
Yeah, gnarly sex wax on your brain, bro.
Yeah, Mike.
Waxed
I
up
could just see
brain.
Mike just sex waxing his brain.
Well, that's how my thoughts come in pretty Nice.
I'm sorry. I didn't get that.
They're
One more
coming
time,
real
Mike?
smooth, my thoughts.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard you said.
Dude, this is so nice, dog.
All right, maybe
All
this
right,
episode is going to be really good.
I can just see like a chicken's ass just shitting out like Mike's brain, and it's just as smooth as an egg.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Do you like smooth shits or hard shits? Let me ask you that.
Mike, how much did you smoke before this episode?
It's a lot of CBD I've been smoking.
Yeah.
But from
Dude,
the
you
gas
gonna fall
station,
asleep?
it's legal. You know?
Because gas stations only sell legal stuff.
Especially those fucking Goku boner pills they got.
Rhino 69.
Oh, those are great with Einstein on the cover.
Yeah, Albert Einstein with Goku's hair. It's sick.
Wait, which hair? Regs or like SS?
Like the Chinese ones. You ever seen those shits?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what the difference is between Goku's hair. I just know it looks like iced cream cones dipped in tar.
My sister used to call them banana hair.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of bananas.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
like 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
But they're gorillas too. Kind of makes sense. Banana hair.
Oh, Saiyans.
Are
Yeah,
they?
they're apes.
All right, this
Yeah.
is ridiculous. This is the worst episode. I hate
Keep
this
it going.
Dragon Ball Z conspiracy right there.
Tom, tell me which Dragon Ball Z character you're roasting tonight. Is it Krillin?
Fuck Krillin. No one likes Krillin.
I mean, I don't know what any of these characters are, but my favorite one is Aretha Franklin. I hope there's no...
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so there was the Frieza saga, there was the
Yeah.
Cell saga, and then the Aretha Franklin saga.
Yeah. Android 420.
Yeah, you clicked on the episode, you know exactly what you're in for. We're talking about Aretha Franklin tonight.
Yay. Cool. I know nothing about her.
I have a couple personal disclaimers that I've written into my script. They will show their ugly heads, these truths that I found.
All right, Alex Jones.
It comes from a deep spiritual meaning of having to do research on Aretha Franklin, who's considered to be the Queen of Soul and the most celebrated recorded female artist of all time. If you think about
Really
it,
now?
all time.
All right, I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, I did a lot of weird things when I was a child. I still do a lot of weird things. One of those weird things was I used to sing Camp Marijuana. We hold you in our hearts.
Yep.
Right?
same.
I didn't even know what marijuana was when I was a kid.
Okay.
Is that Aretha Franklin song?
Yes, Mike.
Yeah, dude.
It is?
Another thing is, like I used
No.
to say garnade instead of grenade. But like people are like, how do you know what a grenade is when you're 3? But the
Frisk that
last
3-year-old.
the last thing is my mom or something would be playing Aretha Franklin, and I would just say Urethra Franklin.
There we go. The joke has been made. We're not doing it anymore.
Yeah. It's,
Whoa!
it's
Her
burnt
name
out
sounds
already.
like a penis part or a vagina part.
I like how Travis really made himself laugh a lot right there.
Yeah, it's like when he agrees with himself.
I love agreeing with myself, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Do you remember when you're like, whenever you're writing like a diary and you're like, wow, this shit is going to be like the smartest thing ever written?
Wow, I'm really going to love this later.
Totally worth going back to. Let's visit that time of my life.
It's
All right.
already on the Oprah Book Club.
Aretha's got 21 Grammys and a butt ton of honorary doctorates, amongst many other awards and accolades. It's a lot of handshaking she's had to
job.
do.
Yeah.
Can't take that away from her. She's a wonderful
she's
singer and a powerful role model for anyone who thinks famous people are good role models. But like so many of our other national treasures, she also had some nasty habits. So we're going to talk about that.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's fire this bitch up. So, Aretha was born in Memphis, March 25th, 1942. She was the fourth out of 5 kids. Her father was an emotional, theatrical, bad-tempered Baptist minister named Clarence LaVaughn Franklin. He was also known as the man with $1 million voice.
Oh, cool.
He was one of those preachers that recorded sermons for radio broadcasts and made shit tons of money. During the 50s...
Jesus is gonna be it. I'm gonna be Jesus. But look at it. Watch out. Jesus is gonna eat a sandwich. Oh, yeah, Jesus is eating a sandwich. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that.
now
I
I
missed
know.
that verse of the Bible.
No, that was when Jesus ate a sandwich.
You can imagine the gospel choirs behind Travis's voice singing that about sandwiches.
Praise the Lord. God's be.
Yeah, he was one of those
Yeah.
guys.
Let me get a Munster with salami on it.
Amen.
So during the 50s, he would charge up to $4K per sermon. That's approximately $40,000 in today's money.
That's too much.
Damn.
He was one of those dudes who dressed like a pimp when delivering God's word.
Nice, as you should.
Wasn't Jesus a pimp?
What's that?
Wasn't Jesus a pimp?
I mean, people call him a pimp. The Jews called him a pimp.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
more of a John because he hung out with whores.
He
Yeah, he hung
acting
out-
like Jesus.
Cotton Eye Jesus?
No, he's acting like Jesus, dressing
Love
like a
that
pimp.
song.
Yeah. It's crazy,
Cotton Eye
right?
Jesus is also a good song.
Jesus can be pimps too. Go on, brush your Jesus off. He's dirty. He's been rolling around in the mud. Go on, brush your Jesus off.
So, look,
Please.
Clarence is a hot piece of garbage in all forms. In 1940, 2 years after Aretha was born, Clarence had an affair with a 13-year-old girl in his congregation.
Oh, very godly.
Yes.
Yeah.
He impregnated this child,
Oh,
and that
no.
child had a child.
Oh,
So that was Jesus Jr.
He did take care of the bastard child, but didn't continue his relationship with a 13-year-old girl.
I wonder why.
well, you know, when the spirit's inside of you, just gotta spread it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Holy Spirit needs manifestation.
Her mother, Barbara Siggers Vernice Franklin, was a well-known gospel singer, but not much information is available about her. In 1948, Barbara left Clarence with very little notice and moved away with her eldest son, Vaughn, who wasn't Clarence's biological son. The entire Franklin family has refused to talk about this incident, but it can most likely be chalked up to Clarence drinking too much, seeing other women, and having sex with kids.
Perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, that's very Christian moral values.
Give this guy a frock.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we're talking about Presbyterians here, right? But, like, a lot of beef goes out to the Catholics for doing that. But guess what? If you're a Catholic, then you cut a hole in your head and you have a little place where you can keep soup.
I have no idea.
They have that haircut that's all meant for keeping soup on top.
Oh, like the friars?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Red
How would
Bull
that stay
hair.
on top?
You got...
It's still
use a lot
round.
of wax. Use a lot of sex wax on your hair.
It's not.
You're not making a good argument for soup retention right now.
This is horrible. This is the worst fucking bit you've ever done. I don't even understand it.
no.
I get what
no.
you're saying, Travis.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's-
right? Like, what do the
Mike only
Protestants
understands
do?
you because he's high as a kite.
Put the French onion soup on your head. It drips down.
As a base.
But the hair soaks it up,
Yeah, dude.
and it soaks into your smooth brain.
Yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
Mike
So
gets
if you have a
it.
smooth brain, you understand.
Dude, my brain is so smooth you could luge down all those little wrinkles. Like a little luge team. That's whenever I have a thought, there's a luge team. And they're like, woo!
We need to get this to the mouth. Sir, it's basically nonsense. I said mush.
You know,
It gets there, though.
as much as I can't get on board with this joke, I'm really proud of us as a group that we didn't immediately go for the pedophile jokes and went right into soup jokes, which is not at all in the script. But hey, we're a fun podcast, I suppose.
Yeah.
So anyway, Aretha and the other siblings stayed in contact with their mother and spent the next few summers in Buffalo, New York, where Barbara had moved. Unfortunately, when Aretha was 10, Barbara had a massive heart attack and died.
Oh,
She was only 34.
Jeez.
ow.
What the fuck are you doing?
So wait, I got 3 more years?
Yeah, like we're all, except Mike, are almost 34.
Yeah, dude.
What'd she do wrong?
I don't know.
Mike, stop smiling so much, Mike.
I'm just happy to be alive.
Yeah,
That means that
Mike's
you have,
smiling.
what, like 10 more years?
Yeah, you're just going to live 10 more years without us
Yeah.
at the end of your life. You're going to be lonely.
Yeah.
I'm going to be dead with Travis and Tom.
You guys
Yeah.
would be in jars, like the Futurama.
Oh, our heads in jars?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that's
dude.
cool, I guess.
Don't do that to me. Just kill
I'll do
me.
that to you guys.
Yeah, no. Honestly, fuck the 27 club. It's all about the 34 club, man.
That's cool. I like that.
Clarence moved the family to Detroit, as post-World War II times, it was a liberal haven for economic growth. They had all the cars there and shit. Clarence was able to take his Sunday forgiveness praise to the next level in his giant 4,500 seat Baptist church.
Ooh.
He was basically a black Joel Osteen in snakeskin boots.
Wait, Joel Osteen isn't black?
No, he's white.
Yeah, he's like the whitest, skinniest man you know.
You never seen that dude?
I've seen his bleached radiance. Thank you. I was trying to make a joke.
Oh, okay. Joel Osteen, if you don't know what he looks like, he kind of looks like Haley Joel Osment has been squeezed out of a toothpaste
That's
tube.
why I confuse them so often.
Yeah,
Isn't this dude fucking kids, though? Isn't Clarence fucking kids? How is he not in jail?
Oh, well, he's also a civil rights hero, so you can't just put
that's all
any...
good. They're like, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets
It's
extra
like
credit.
two wrongs, just cancel it. Cancels it out. He's doing a positive thing on one side.
Right.
No,
Help the
that's not
community.
how it works. That's not how it works. That's
Ask
not how it
Bill
works.
Cosby.
He had a giant neon crucifix installed over his
sick.
altar, and his masses were fucking packed.
Dude.
That's pretty
I see
sick.
that
I want an
fucking
upside down crucifix neon over my bed.
Yeah, it sounds dope.
Yeah, it's a good way to fuck.
Yeah.
David Ritz, the author of Respect, The Life of Aretha Franklin, which is one of my sources, said that Mr. Franklin's church services were a front for a sex circus.
What?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, they were all about fucking orgies and shit. Like a different type of manger, if you would.
Away in the manger, my dick is real hard, and Mary shows up and makes me blow it out on her face. Is that good?
It didn't rhyme.
Yeah, I don't know what standards. You were relatively in tune. Got that going for you.
Dude, I love Christmas. It's
So,
all about white stuff falling.
So Ritz goes on to say, it was the point where Saturday night merged into Sunday morning, and sin met salvation at the crossroads of African-American musical culture. High on the Holy Ghost, dancing in the aisles of New Bethel, the saints would celebrate the love of Christ. High on wine and weed, the party people celebrated the love of flesh.
Yes.
Shit, it sounds like a black Rasputin.
Kind
Hey,
of.
that's not too
Yeah,
bad.
Ryan.
Ray Charles also attended this church, and I don't know if we could trust this guy because he couldn't even see, but he was shocked.
You could feel.
He was shocked at all the
He just walks
sexuals.
into the room and is like, oh my God. That smells like orgy happening 18 feet away.
What hit me in the
I
face?
thought I was at church.
According to Ray Charles, when it came to pure sex, they were wilder than me. And that's saying something. In those days, I had a thing for orgies, but I had to be the only cat in the room with 2 or 3 chicks. The gospel people didn't think that way. The cats liked it with the cats, and the chicks liked it with the chicks, and no one minded mixing it up this way or that way.
Whoa!
Okay, hold on. Unpack everything.
Yeah.
All right, so what's going on here is that this church was
Yeah.
fucking wild. They were throwing dicks and pussies every which way, and there's children around. These are
Wait, no,
party
there's no
animals.
children around, right? There's no children in the pews while they're having an orgy, are they?
I mean, probably not. I mean, there was probably like some kind of disco ball spinning room in the back where they all.
Yeah, daycare or something.
Like you pull the bookshelf with the Bible on it, and everyone goes around Scooby Doo to like
Yeah, they're
dungeon.
They were having parachute day out in the yard. Remember that?
Yeah,
Good
dude.
times.
Inside the mushroom cloud.
Woo! The colors. And meanwhile, the parents are in the chapel just fucking, raw dogging, wife swapping.
Well, whatever
Sounds like a
floats
cool
your boat.
church.
You know, just keep it out of the kids' mouths, I guess. The Franklin household was what you would call a privileged one, if you couldn't guess.
Go on.
Aretha was made to take piano lessons that she wasn't really into. Big shocker, she was a kid. As she grew up, she began teaching herself piano and singing her gospel choir songs. She began to
Nice.
stand out in school and church choirs. From a pretty young age, she even got paid to work as a soloist in the church choir and saved her money to buy some dank-ass roller skates.
Oh
Yeah?
my god!
What kind?
Expensive ones for the time.
Nice.
It's roller disco time. We gonna have a good time. Roller disco. And hey, guess what? Welcome to Sonic. Would you like a burger? I hate my life. Roller disco time. Welcome
how it's worked.
to Sonic. We're gonna have a good old time.
The roller derbies, maybe?
I actually met a girl today at a skate park that was on roller skates, and she told me she got into skates from actually working at Sonic.
Oh, really?
She fell in love with them. She thought it was like the coolest thing.
Does she do like roller derby shit?
Yeah.
Really?
Dude,
That's
roller
cool.
derby's awesome.
There's like handstands on the half pipe and shit like that. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. But, I mean, you do look like a child when you do that.
Yeah, but the feeling is good.
Yeah.
It's got to be nice.
I'm not really knocking it. I just think it looks a little weird. I prefer to see couples skate, you know? Well, routine. Like, when someone has roller skates in a fucking skate park, I'm like,
Yeah.
too cool for my blood.
Dude, I'm all about inline, bro. Have you ever heard of inline?
I'm into
No.
Heelys.
Yeah.
Dude, sick.
By the age of 14, her talents were well known in her father's church, and Clarence thought she was ready to take the jump to touring member of his traveling revival ministry. He had, by this point, had his sermons on vinyl and was distributing them on Chess Records, and had Sunday air on all major religious radio stations in the U.S. In fact, in 2011, his sermon, "The Eagle Striketh Her Nest," was added to the National Recording Registry of the Library of Congress.
Shit. Also,
All right.
that title sounds very sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long title.
Wait. So you're telling me there's a fucking market for people that just want to listen to a sermon that had already happened?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is.
So, like, there are people that are like, I'm in the mood for sermon, and they, like, go down to, like, the music shop, buy one on vinyl, and just play it for no one except themselves.
Yeah, I mean, he was a powerful speaker. You know, if he did a whole sermon about how he'd like to enter my anus, I might fall for it because he could sell anything. This guy was good.
All right. I'm intrigued.
You know how people go to the gym and then they just put on like a Spotify playlist that's like, good for treadmills. This was the spiritual version of going to the gym for people. So they put this on their vinyl. They'd sit there. You know, sometimes the family would be there. They light up a couple cigarettes and they go, I got this. I got this. The Lord wants me to get it, and
Wow.
I'm gonna get it.
And then the husband would take a bite of his sandwich and turn to his wife and say, Martha, is this fucking Miracle Whip? What I haven't told you?
Clarence is like, yo, Aretha, you sing well. You're my daughter. What do you think about going on tour? And you're like, yeah, why not? It's fucking tour. It's sick. It's just a traveling church. What could go wrong? Her father's tours made the Tony Hawk Boom Boom Huck Jam look like church.
Whoa.
They're-
Mike, can you translate? What's a boom boom huck jam?
It's something you got to experience for yourself. I can't
Oh.
describe it.
You're no
It's-
help.
yeah.
You need to
It's only for the
experience
enlightened, Travis.
God
The
damn it.
smooth-brained
it. I'm
enlightened.
sorry, your brain, that's
Too
not
wrinkly.
smooth.
Anthony Hawk, if you're listening, please tell me what the boom boom huck jam is.
So, just like at home, there was all-night drinking, drugs, loose women, fights, kind of akin to a Kiss appearance at Sturgis. And while Clarence flew from place to place, Aretha and the rest of the choir had to take long-haul bus rides to get to arenas.
Oh, no.
Classic. That's what God wanted.
It's not showing favorites, I guess. I get it.
Just tough it out, man.
Jesus wanted you to take the bus.
So this is kind of where Aretha gets her taste of some pretty racist bullshit, because they had to tour a lot in the South. A lot of those stops were, you know, way down there in the shitty areas, and it was
can
hard for them
imagine.
to find places to sleep and eat. So they usually just slept on the bus and would send the one white guy in to go get potatoes or something.
Yeah.
She also spent time traveling with another touring gospel act called the Soul Stirrers, which gave her some much desired attention.
I'm just saying, I don't believe in souls, but if I did, I don't want my soul stirred at all. It should just be left alone. It's mine. Don't stir it.
You wouldn't want to.
Shaken, though.
You don't want to feel it in your bones, dude. You don't
Dude,
want to
I don't
feel
want-
God's love.
I don't want anyone putting a wooden spoon, which they probably haven't washed under boiling water, so it carries bacteria, into my soul and stirred.
Gotta
Sir,
try it once.
Travis, you're stirring your soul every time you sound with those aluminum rods. I see.
there's no aluminum rods. I'm not souling myself.
You're sounding, and then it's like a swizzle stick for your soul.
Cody, why are you making up these blatant non-Christian lies about me?
I thought you said you didn't have a soul.
What? Dude,
explain to me, Travis.
my brain is so smooth right now. I don't know what's going on. What's happening? Are my friends real?
Yes, but we still question you.
It's for your own good,
Dude!
But we question you.
No soul, no sounding, man.
No soul sound. I get it. All right, so let's back up a little bit and talk about Aretha's love life, because that started very young. When she was 12, she banged a 14-year-old boy named Donald Burke. She got pregnante and had her first child, Clarence. With you got to name your first child, which you have at 12, after your father. He's not going to be mad.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking young.
That-
That is really young. I'm surprised you can actually push one out when you're 12.
So she gets pregnante and has this kid. She drops out of school during the pregnancy. And then she has a second son when she was 16 with a boy named Edward Jones. They called that kid Ed. Aretha seemed to take responsibility for these kids to the as best as any teen mom could. Now, there are rumors circulating that Clarence, her preacher father, civil rights activist, and pedophile, was the one who got Aretha pregnante, which is easy to believe because he got another fucking 13-year-old pregnant.
Right.
And he's a sick man, even though he's in the Library of Congress and he is worshipped by civil rights movement because he gave Dr. Martin Luther King a hand job.
Oh man, I really got to get in there and do that.
This is a rumor, though. I don't know.
He sounds like a sick dude.
He's definitely a sick dude, but I don't think that actually happened. But I did see that come up online a few times. Apparently, there was no real sexual abuse. It was just starting off early. Trashy.
I mean, that's not really very
okay.
Christian, though, is it? Right? You know,
No.
get knocked up at 12.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, I don't know. That's
Or maybe
for God
it's
to say.
maybe it's super Christian.
Yeah,
That's
I was
what
gonna
I
say
used
maybe,
to do.
Yeah.
maybe it's OG Christian, but
They didn't
not.
live that long back then.
We're gonna die at 27.
Yeah.
Quick.
They're still
Huddle.
using the Old Testament in that church.
Do you think that Christian pedophiles use the whole, like, Eve used a rib to become a human? Here's my rib. It's coming out of my zipper.
Ah.
I don't know if they're smart enough to do that.
Oh, okay.
You just out Epsteined everybody.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Travis's dick at like a 90-degree curve, just swooping out.
Oh, God.
It's a rib.
It's on an angle.
It smells like barbecue sauce.
You know what they keep underneath the Vatican? A bunch of ribs. Spare ribs.
It's a smokehouse.
Yeah, they're actually just roasting from the 11th century. They're just slow roasting.
Yeah, the Vatican is the reason why McRibs come and go.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, my goodness. So, like I said, that whole thing was probably a rumor about Clarence. He did shady shit, but I don't think he fathered his daughter's kid.
What a sentence that was.
Yeah, right. Oddly enough, this didn't affect Aretha's career one bit. You see, she had a grandmother who was still in the picture. Big Mama, they called her. So she took care of the kids.
What was it, Big
Sometimes-
Mama?
Yeah, Big Mama.
Sometimes
Cool.
grandparents just save the day and your life.
That
Yeah,
happens with a
sometimes.
lot of meth heads.
That's very true. She wasn't one of those touched, smooth-brained teen moms from MTV.
Yeah.
She had the guts. She wanted to do something with her life, so she made it
I
work.
respect.
Yeah, I definitely respect her. Barry Gordy and Billy Davis, producers and songwriters behind the Detroit sensation Jackie Wilson, a.k.a. Mr. Excitement, were looking for new female talent to ghostwrite for. They found out about Aretha through some of her solo gospel vinyls that were put out on Chess Records, which was the record company that was putting out her father's gospels. They had done some live recordings in a church, and you can hear the church music with your family.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Tom, that was a lot of soul you had there.
I don't actually. Within doing the research for this, I discovered how little soul I have.
They have a pill for that.
I respect Aretha Franklin. I do. I respect soul singers. I respect R&B singers. I respect jazz singers. But when doing the research, I try to listen to some of the music, and I'm like,
What's her famous song?
there's no blast beats. There's nothing that really grabs my attention. There's nothing that makes me sad. There's nothing that's depressive, suicidal black metal about this. You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Mike, you asked what her most famous song is?
Yeah, she's the one that sings "Respect," right?
Yes,
You guys
that's
said
her.
it Before.
Yeah, killer song.
Yeah.
Great song.
It's good. I like it.
Before, yeah.
I love when she goes to the YMCA and she says, "You're gonna
That's her
be
too?
a man today at the
That's not her.
YMCA."
fuck.
That was 5 men.
Shut
Mike.
up, Tom. It's definitely Aretha Franklin. YMCA.
MCA.
Mike, you're the sailor.
You're the seaman.
All right. Anyways, so she gets her publicity on these low-budget vinyls, and that did pretty well for her at the time. It didn't take long to get the wheels in motion to have Aretha signed up with Gordy and Davis. The only snag was that Clarence thought she was too young for that style of R&B music. I guess having sex with 13-year-olds is okay, but letting a 14-year-old sing R&B was way out of line.
That's out of the question.
Yeah.
Looks like he might have had a little bit of an R. Kelly complex going on.
Oh, yeah. Very, very dominant.
Yeah.
A side note. My primary source for all this information was the biography The Queen of Soul by Mark Bago. I listened to it on book on tape, because, I don't read that fast.
No.
So I do the book on tape thing. It's a good way for us to get information to you. So anyway, the narrator is this dude named Mel Foster, and he's fucking hysterical. He's a white dude. One of those white guys with really, really white hair, but very dark eyebrows, kind of like Martin Scorsese.
Oh, yeah.
And when he was reading quotes that were put into this book by Aretha or another black woman, he would put on what it was essentially black voice.
Oh, no. Can you
very
play a
funny.
clip?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'd love to hear.
I love gospel music, Aretha proclaimed in our interview. Gospel music means everything to me. It certainly was part of my beginnings, the church being my background.
Dude, no! Don't do that!
I don't know how I feel about that.
That clip wasn't even that bad. They get way bad.
And I said, stop that, Mama Jama.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, Aretha spent her time at home taking care of her babies and singing. She was heavily inspired by jazz singer Dinah Washington. And Dinah was a Clarence follower, so Aretha was able to meet her hero.
Oh.
Clarence would host parties for all the jazz and R&B artists who would attend. Now that Aretha was a little older, around 16, she made it clear to her father that she wanted to sing jazz.
Uh-huh.
Clarence was now okay with the idea, but Clarence's parishioners saw this as blasphemy.
But the orgy's not so much.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, jazz and blues is Satan music, of course.
Yeah.
So Clarence okayed Aretha's new career path and allowed her family friend and famous bassist, Major Mule Holly, to take Aretha to New York City to cut some demos.
Let me cut them demos. Cut them demos like provolone.
His name is also Mule.
That's cool, man.
See, is it spelt like the animal?
Yes.
Dude, could I be like Travis Camel Lee?
Crush.
Yeah, Travis Camel Crush.
Travis Camel Crush. Sometimes I'm mentholated. Sometimes I'm regular.
Always filtered.
Other times, yeah, I'm always filtered.
Yeah. So, shortly after she got to New York City, she got her first residency gig in a jazz lounge on East 28th Street. John Hammond of Columbia Records got his hands on the Mule Holly and Aretha demo and was all about it.
Did he invent the Hammond organ?
No, but
is that?
he's a very famous producer.
Okay.
So he went over to a small recording studio to meet Aretha and told her she was the future of blues music. John Hammond knew what he was doing. He was the guy who put Billie Holiday, George Benson, Bessie Smith, Benny Goodman, Bob Dylan, and Count Basie on the map.
So this
had
guy's
a
been around. He knows.
Yeah, this dude is stacked. He's like, I know what art is, and I see good art where you coming from. I'm assuming John Hammond talked like that. Hello, Aretha Franklin. I'm a white man from New York, and I'm going to put you on the map.
That's it.
Yeah. So he had a contract written up real quick, and Aretha signed to Columbia for 6 albums. Woo!
Woo.
Now, this was a decent start to Aretha's career, but the albums she produced there were not top sellers.
What year did she sign? Where are we at now?
Ooh, this is 1960.
Okay. I thought she was more popular in the 70s.
That would make sense. I would think that, too.
I just said that the 6 albums that she agreed to do in 1960 didn't go over that well.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, I know, okay.
Are you expecting us to pay attention?
Dude, I'm just trying to figure out what century, what decade we're in.
We're here. What century, decade?
This is the 1700s, and Aretha Franklin has just approved Benjamin Franklin's facility for the blind.
Is that right?
You've been drinking too much protein, Travis.
Dude, there's no protein here. It's all fucking lady teen.
Next time I see Travis, I know he's going to be fucking shredded. He's going to be guzzling fresh, hot protein right off the line.
Dude, I'm all about Sliz-teen, man. Sliz-teen. You get it? It's like...
You've changed.
Dude, it's like White Claw, but it tastes like fish.
Well, you see, I know this is due to automation, robot automation. We've really lost a lot of the protein opportunities we have, because you used to be able to have... men standing in a line on a conveyor belt and working on something, whether it's putting together yo-yos or whatnot. Underneath is the trough where
the real money's being made.
Yeah, exactly. That's where they're milking them. They're I gotta be nice and strong. That's where all the bodybuilders won. That's Jack LaLanne.
Yeah, the Ford Model T was just a byproduct,
dude,
of the trough semen.
Yes.
They made semen, and like a Ford Model T just happened because of it.
Okay.
Like, I guess we can sell the car.
But why do you think in the 1800s people were way more buff? It's because they had Sliz-teen working in the cotton gins, bro. These ladies were just fucking
cotton
spinning
gin
that.
is not a building.
No,
it's
they were
a box.
They
It's
were
a tool.
spinning. They were spinning that gin, that cotton, and then all of a sudden, slizzing, juicing underneath the cotton.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Travis, what the fuck?
You okay, Mike?
Yo, I'm just saying, this is how history is, dude.
That was funny as shit.
So, like I said, she did 6 albums with them. None of them did great, but it was a good way to get into the field. Columbia didn't know what angle to take with marketing her, so none of her albums sold that great. But it was a productive time.
Yeah.
In 1961, Aretha met her future husband and manager, Ted White. The two met in a nightclub and were married 6 months later. Clarence did not approve of their union whatsoever, and the two became pretty enemies. I said pretty enemies. I meant petty enemies.
Okay. I was very confused there.
I said it with such conviction. Usually when I fuck up, I back up, but I was
felt that in my sternum over the internet. Ted White sounds like a guy that has like a stamp collection.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was... Okay, let me help you out. Black Ted White. What is he now?
Still sounds like a stamp collection. No, maybe.
Really?
No, maybe he does RC cars. He's really into RC cars. Like a little bit cooler than stamps, but like
Black Ted White.
Drones, maybe, on the
Yeah.
weekends.
I was going to say maybe he's into ceramics.
Yeah, I mean, could be. Anyway, Ted White had no managing experience whatsoever, but I guess he had a really nice looking penis because he got the job of being her manager, and yeah, like I said, a good penis will take you a long way.
yeah, was he managing her fallopian tubes?
That's not true. We're all doing podcasts.
Yeah, true. I mean, some of us. Anyway,
We won't say who.
Wait, what are we talking about? I don't.
it's fine, Travis. Look, but
Mike
a
runs
good-looking
the Snapchat. It's all his fault.
You're not getting Travis's
trying to remember
penis's
the,
right angle.
He doesn't even know the name of our fucking Snapchat.
Yeah, just so anyone who's
It is
listening.
a roast mortem snap, right?
Yeah, we have roast mortem. No, is it roast mortem snap or roast mortem?
I don't know,
Cancer.
dude.
I don't
know.
Stop
I
doing
haven't written
kickflips into the moon.
I've hit my
just a
head too many
tsunami.
times, man. I just can't remember. My brain's too smooth.
It's just a tsunami of dick pics waiting for you if you can remember the credentials.
I think I'm going to keep it lost.
All right. So anyway, Ted White is a piece of shit who manipulated and beat Aretha. He constantly engaged in pissing contests with Columbia Records, even though they knew what the fuck they were talking about, and he was clueless. If Aretha was in a recording session and even seemed to be having the slightest bit of fun, Ted would lose his shit in front of anyone, didn't matter who was there, and slap the shit out of her.
Oh, come
That
on.
fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh, Ted White's a bad man. Ted White and Clarence they're really pulling in the reins here for Roast Mortem for being the scumbags because our
Yeah, the
subject
workhorses.
isn't really that bad tonight. So they're like, Clarence, hoo-ha, rapist.
Bonafide.
Yes. In 1962, Aretha had excelled to the top of the jazz greats. She started working with producer Robert Mercy. They recorded 3 albums together. During the 60s, Aretha and Ted threw all-night parties in their Detroit home pretty regularly.
That's cool.
And neighbors hated them.
Ah,
Rockstar
This is
shit.
what-
Who cares?
This is when Detroit was still making cars.
automobiles.
Yes.
It wasn't just a dumpster for...
Yeah,
America.
people worked then, unlike today, where everyone's voting for Bernie and Andrew
What?
Yang.
Everyone's voting for getting lead out of the water in Detroit.
Nah, it's
Michigan.
fine. Leave the lead in. It's a testament to something.
Helps evolution.
Yeah, exactly. Her Columbia contract was going to expire in 1966. So Columbia had her record as many songs as possible to continue releasing albums after she did resign. Or if she resigned. Everyone knew she was going to be a huge star and just hadn't really come close to her full potential. So after her contract was up, she signed with Atlantic. But Columbia was still able to put out 5 additional albums. So that's a lot of work. This
Just
woman,
'cause they were in
like
the can?
B-sides and shit?
no, not even B-sides, like actual full-length albums. They just had her recording all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, give her a break.
No, I mean, she liked it too. She liked everything about recording except her husband, who would be like,
Beating the shit out of her.
yeah, like
Don't
sta-
smile.
Wait,
Down
and
the road.
she's still raising her children from when she was 12? Like, good
Yeah,
moms?
yeah, they're in the picture still. She took care of them. She,
Cool. That's
They're in
good.
Grandmaville.
yeah, there's a lot of like good stuff about her. So anyway, this episode
Thanks, Tom.
sucks. I fucking hate this episode.
You're such a bad person, you know.
Yeah, I want to research about. This is the most boring episode I've ever done when it
I'm
comes to
having a good
research.
time.
Well, yeah, good.
You're
Yeah,
high
me
as a
too.
kite.
I'm on CBD.
You're
man.
Travis.
It's legal.
What?
In 1964, Aretha's dear friend and role model, King of Soul, Sam Cooke, was killed in a very weird circumstance. Now, this doesn't affect Aretha outside of it was very sad for her, but I thought it was weird enough to bring up on the podcast. So, he had brought back a young woman to his hotel room after a party. And he took all of his clothes off and went into the bathroom to probably wash his penis, as gentlemen do.
Take everything off to do that.
Yep.
That's why males need to use bidets as well.
A little bird bath.
Yeah, after you piss?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, bird bath. Yeah, you're right, Mike.
how's your bird?
Clean those nuts off.
Clean the worm.
Yeah, how's your
The
bird?
drumstick. Shake the drumstick.
That's what was happening at the fucking at Humphrey Bogart's house with all the Rat Pack. They were just
Bird bath.
in the backyard.
Yeah, the bidet was out of service, so they all just scrubbed
Can't
their
get that
nuts.
spot. I can't get it.
Yeah, they're all just standing there with their dicks in a bird bath. How's your bird?
This is nice.
Yeah, check out my Tweety bird. It doesn't like Sylvester. That means it doesn't like pussy.
So anyway, Sam Cooke is in the bathroom all naked, and when he came outside, the girl had disappeared, and she stole his clothes. Now Sam was
hate
a
when
little
that
hammered,
happens.
so he left the room, and he was wearing his shoes and a jacket.
Oh,
you
he's
go.
Diddy Konging.
Yeah, I know we're laughing, but this is actually kind of a sad story. So he was knocking on doors looking for the girl, and when he knocked on the hotel manager's door, she saw a naked Sam Cooke and shot him 3 times, and then finished him with a baseball bat.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Way to go, Tom. Now I'm sad.
Yeah, now I feel like shit.
rightfully so. It set off a wave of mass mourning in the black community. This dude was kind of like up there with a up-and-coming Elvis. This dude was seriously missed in the community, and it put Aretha in a funk because they were friends. In in 1966, Aretha was ready to go. She had enough experience to take her creativity to the next level.
Nice.
She wanted to take more control of her talents. She was still dealing with Ted, but she was starting to see how much of an asshole he was and how smooth his brain was. And she was ready to walk away. So she wasn't as
Wait, she
invested.
was dating Ted Cook?
No, it's Ted White. She was
Ted
married to him.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Ted Cook.
No. They were friends.
Wait, they were friends with Ted Cook?
Are you guys hearing this shit?
It's Ted Cook. Oh,
Ted Cook doesn't exist.
Dude,
Travis-
Ted Cook exists.
It's Ted White.
Ted White.
It's Sam Cook.
No, Ted Cook exists.
Shut
Who
up.
the fuck is Ted Cook?
He's not in the story. I'm sure there's a couple Ted Cooks out there.
There's a Ted Cook.
I know Ted Cook,
Tell me about Ted Cook.
He makes the best hash browns.
Oh, yeah.
He comes to my apartment. He makes hash brown
In the dead of night.
in the dead of night. I wake up. There's hash brown.
What a
I'm
nice
like,
man.
Thanks, Ted,
a nice
for cooking
guy.
for me.
Like I said, she's not dealing with smooth brain shit knuckle, but
Oh.
she's now working with a new producer named Jerry Wexler, a man who made her career and guided her away from Ted White's moronic producer calls. Fun fact about Jerry Wexler, unlike John Hammond, who was a privileged kid growing up, Wexler grew up dirt poor and washed windows and delivered liquor to pay for his college to become a reporter. His fascination with jazz music and his writing chops landed him a job with Billboard, where he pushed for the chart to relabel the term R&B to R&B from its somewhat outdated and crusted label, which was race music.
All right.
Race music.
Race music.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Jerry Wexler. Thanks for being
R&B.
actually progressive and not
Yeah.
and not
I
stupid.
like this.
You know. Anyway, Aretha's best known and anthem of a tune, which Mike you brought up before, "Respect."
Show a little bit of respect.
Yeah, this is actually a cover of Otis Redding that he had released 2 years prior.
I like him.
He's cool.
He makes
died.
popcorn.
Didn't he die in a really weird way too?
Otis Redding. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I got to look into him.
We'll peep
but-
that.
Yeah, I think he died. I know he died pretty young. But anyway, she took the song and she really put like this empowerment kind of empowerment progressive direction in it, and it's still
She
played.
rubbed some funk on it.
Yeah, this is pre-funk actually. This would be soul, Cody.
Yeah. There's RBSPDP. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what to be. RESPRCT. Come on, it's respecting with it. Respect, talk to me, tell just a little bit. RESPBB. RESPBB. Respect. Whoa, just a little bit.
I can't wait
That's
till
spot
Travis
on.
gets evicted because of this podcast.
Yeah. Spot on, Travis.
His neighbors are like, the man next door is on meth all the time.
Constantly.
Only on Sundays, though.
He doesn't know how to spell. He can't even pretend. I don't know how
Well, you-
meth head keeps that much weight on him.
You know
I'm
what?
surprised
I'm
he
a
survived to his 30s.
I'm a casual method. I do it every Sunday. You know, we have a couple cigars, we smoke a little meth,
All right. Well,
have
either way,
wine with the girls.
everyone who is listening to this podcast has been to a bar mitzvah or a wedding or Sweet 16 where the song is played.
Yeah.
It's a banger. It's out there. It was
Yeah.
pre-Macarena energy. You understand?
Quinceañera energy.
I remember it was definitely played at the block party. I don't know if it was played during this that happened, but I was in a pie eating competition at a block party. Remember those?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
a man, the whole thing was you're supposed to eat is a whipped cream pie. You eat the whipped cream. At the bottom is there's a Tootsie Roll. And this guy is eating all the whipped cream, and he just inhales the Tootsie Roll. And it gets lodged in his throat. And somebody's doing the Heimlich on him, and he like coughs it up. But I'm just imagining it right now with respect playing. Because it could have happened.
What you want? Where be I got it? Like,
Jerry, get it up! I mean, I witnessed
Choking
that.
hazard, the game.
Respect could have been happening.
it very likely could have been happening. But anyway, Jerry Wexler and her created this song and many, many others over the course of the next 18 albums. The two were a fucking
Oh, wow.
powerhouse. The arrival of Respect on the radio was the breaking point. Everyone knew this energetic new voice, and they were all about Aretha. Between not being at Columbia, fizzling out of Ted, and the help of Wexler, she was pretty unstoppable at this point. And for the record, Atlantic gave Aretha all the creative space she needed, and she flourished because of it. She did a lot of her own songwriting, too. Back then, we've talked about in the show before how people used to cover stuff all the time, and they'd have arrangers work. And yeah, Wexler technically was an arranger and songwriter, but Aretha was a huge part of the songwriting process. She's the real deal.
Beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Tom, for bringing in the real deal.
You're welcome. Real
Real
deal.
McCoy. Only for us. Only for our listeners.
So from February 1967 to February 1968, she released 10 top 10 singles and 3 top 10 albums.
Damn, Aretha.
Wait, but she also knew the dude who was in Billboard. Like, isn't that a conflict of interest going on right there?
Wexler worked at Billboard.
Yeah.
And he wasn't there anymore. And I'm sure he knew people there, but you still need to sell albums. You can't fake numbers.
You could be like, yo, Billboard, guess how many Nathan's hot dogs I have in my pocket. You want to bump my numbers a little bit?
I mean, I that could happen.
Hot dogs?
But that could. But she
That's
was
how
getting
I
the
went-
radio play. The album sales were there. Everyone was making money.
Tom, this is how I went triple platinum in Cambodia. Oh,
really?
check out, I got a bunch of hot dogs in my pocket. You want me to go triple platinum?
So you're basically bribing people with very hungry people with food.
Pre-cooked.
They're
Yeah.
not very hungry. They
You
have
still eat
rice.
Yeah,
but dude, moderately
Like
hungry.
bologna.
Dude, but hot dogs are barely food.
You can
That's
eat
a
it raw.
snack.
It's not true, dude. It's not fucking true.
It's world
Fucking
currency.
real food. So anyway, with these stats, the only person to achieve these same stats at this point was Elvis Presley.
Ah, okay.
The king.
Now, like I said, Ted was still kind of in the picture, but now he was kind of just like grandfather clocking. You know, like, I'm watching you.
Dang.
Not doing much. He stopped working at it as her manager, but he was still at home and pretty abusive still. Aretha didn't do many interviews because one Times reporter published a piece about even though her songs were powerful and commanding, her home life was sad and fucking shitty.
Damn.
Aretha stayed home for the most part, chain smoking cools and eating junk food.
Nice.
She smoked 2 packs a day and only
Not
quit
nice.
in the late 90s.
Ooh.
They know
Okay.
any better back then.
It's not
This
bad.
is 1966 right now we're talking. Imagine smoke it from 2 packs a day for 30 years.
Well, they didn't know any better back then, really. They were like,
It was still
doctors
bad
were
for you,
like,
Mike.
You can smoke them, you know.
In the 80s, they were like, oh,
But
you
when
should
you're
probably
addicted
stop.
like that, you can't really. It's like your daily routine, you know.
Are you a nicotine apologist?
Yeah, what's going
What
on
that
here?
means.
Mike, as the youngest person on our show, you want to look real cool? You should probably smoke two packs of these. a
You
day.
should eat cigarettes on our show.
Next week.
Yeah, go to college and then keep stepping out for cigarettes. But be seen by the rest of your classmates.
And the
Oh, there
professor.
he is smoking.
Yeah. Well, the professor will be like, "That's fucking cool. A plus."
Well, that's one thing that they can't figure out. How do you stop making cigarettes from looking cool? It's impossible.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, Ted White was enraged by the Times article that had painted a very, very accurate picture of what this sticky nutsack looked like.
Oh, my God.
So Ted tried to sue them for $10 million for defamation. But that doesn't go well because Ted had been beating Aretha in public for years at
not
this
good.
point. So the judge threw out the case without prejudice.
I can
Well,
imagine.
also, like, if she's doing shows and shit, she's like showing up with black eyes and stuff.
Nah, he was old school, man. He used the phone book.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Spread out the hit.
Slaps don't really give you fucking marks either, you know?
It's red and it goes away.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, the other man in Aretha's life, Daddy Clarence, was being audited and fined by the IRS for $250,000.
Oh. Wonder why.
Well, you see, you would think this guy would have a better accountant.
Right.
He's making millions of dollars from church, which is tax
Tax
exempt.
free.
Yeah.
But however he filed the paperwork to sell his records was not filed under the church. He was sole proprietor.
Uh-oh.
And he thought, oh, I'm a preacher. I don't have to pay taxes. And it's like, no, if you're doing a church event, you don't have to pay taxes. But when you're selling a fucking vinyl, we still tax those, bitch.
Yeah.
Hell
So-
yeah.
Yeah, so that fucking bumped Aretha out too, because I think she had to bail him out a bit, because he was one of these guys, you know, he's buying too many suits to keep any money in his account.
Damn.
So she had been performing here and there, and she was selling out. She was one of the hottest tickets in town, but like I said, here and there, she wasn't doing the tours like you would if you had this opportunity. You know, if you were on the radio that much, I would be on the road all the fucking time, making $1 billion.
Yeah.
So I could just put it places, you know?
Like you were
Hide it.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
Who?
but she didn't really like to do that. She had some anxieties, kind of riddled by stage fright for a good part of her life, and liked her privacy.
She sounds pretty cool to me, to be honest. Everyone else sounds like a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's kind of the theme of this one. I mean, I know I keep bringing it up, but
Yeah.
so once she would get on stage, she overcame her stage fright, or it seemed to be, and she liked to get close to the audience. And one time she did fall off the stage while getting a little too close. Nothing crazy. She didn't break anything, but it did sell a lot of newspapers.
Jeez.
She probably broke a few people. All those snacks.
Yeah, she did balloon up at some points in her life, but
Oh yeah.
at this she was also a skinny hot babe back in her day too. You know,
Really?
she had a compulsive eating problem. Yeah, and that sucked, but a lot of it was stress induced. Like,
Food tastes good, man. It's hard sometimes, you know.
yeah, dude, if
Food
I just told
tastes
you you
good.
sucked and you could never get a job,
I want to eat a burger. I'd be like, damn, I feel like shit.
yeah,
Make it a double.
yeah,
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean,
you know, fuck it.
you know what?
and she drank a lot too, which is like obviously she's doing all the things that her brain are saying to do because that's what my brain says to do.
Yeah.
Eat as many chicken wings as possible, have half a pack of cigarettes, and half a bottle of whiskey, and this will make everything better.
Dude,
It
your head
does.
tells you to do that too?
On one occasion, a 14-year-old runaway Oprah Winfrey
What?
scammed her out of $100 by telling Aretha she had been abandoned by her family.
What? Is this why she's like a billionaire?
Yeah,
She
Oprah
just
Winfrey.
did that.
Not that I want her dead, but I
Yeah.
think there's enough dirt on her in a way. Anyone who is that loud and proud needs to be shot in the knees.
Well, and also the you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Everyone had
Oh.
to pay tax on those cars.
Yeah.
So like,
I think only one person took that car home.
yeah.
And I hate her.
Yeah.
I hate her current like frozen food line. It's just like we shredded cauliflower into this pizza so it tastes less filling, and it's just like I eat pizza because it's filling, bitch.
That's a very Cody thing for you to
I know.
say.
So yeah. So
I hate her frozen food line, and I'll tell you why right now.
Yeah, the pizza is supposed to occupy as much space to push the bad feelings out of your body, right, Travis?
Yeah.
Travis, let him know.
Occupy Cody's Wall Street. And by Wall Street, I mean
GI
his
tract.
organs.
You should have went DiGiorno.
Dude, I love
Red
DiGiorno.
Baron.
Yeah, DiGiorno. Travis just put a Red Baron down, didn't you?
He was
Dude,
selling
Red
before.
Baron, you could give me a Red Baron enema. That's how much I love it.
Amazing. I
Yeah,
love Red
okay.
Baron.
Wait, but so she's getting scammed by Oprah Winfrey.
What a segue.
Yeah, Oprah had basically run away from home to go stay with a friend, but when she got to the friend's house, her friend wasn't home yet, so she went and wandered the streets and saw Aretha Franklin, who she was a fan of, and was like, "Oh, I love her music. Let me scam this bitch 100."
She got enough of it, you know.
Yeah. So years later, when Oprah had her own TV show, this was in the 80s, Oprah made this public and offered to pay her back on the show. Aretha was like, I'm not going on your show, so you can give me $100. If you want to pay me back, you can do it at my show.
Ooh.
Because obviously this is just going to bump ratings. So Aretha's like, no thanks. I have anxiety, and you just want to use me.
I kind of want to
So-
borrow $100 from a famous person now, just to like pay it back on this podcast.
No, don't do the Oprah trick. Oprah sucks.
No, I know she sucks, but
Well, what else would you want to borrow?
No, let's like find Elon Musk and like just borrow $100 from him, and then like for no reason, like down the road, just be like, "We'll pay it back to you if you come on our show."
Oh my God, I just thought of the best podcast idea ever.
Was it mine?
So hear me out. Yeah, it's yours, but I'm elaborating on it. You got the wheels turning. Check it out.
I lubed you.
We start kidnapping rich people's kids. And the ransom information is all in the podcast.
Dude, that's great.
And if they subscribe and slap like, then we'll give the kid back.
We put it
That
behind a
sounds
paywall.
great.
That's it. That's all it is. Yeah, but yeah,
Throw on the
subscribe.
couch next to me.
Well, yeah. Well,
You want to see this motherfucker again?
It's like we never change locations either. This is gonna be a great idea.
Yeah.
We'll have ski masks on.
And we can hide the details in like the waveform, and it's only visible with like the what's it called, Tom? The spectrographer or the spectrogram?
Spectrometer, I think.
Like Aphex Twins.
Mike looks like Elon Musk on Joe Rogan right now. So,
Oh.
yo,
Smooth as fuck.
oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Smooth.
Smooth as fuck.
We're in a simulation.
Anyway, Aretha didn't take the baiting, and we're probably not going to do that podcast. Wink, wink.
Well, not right
Wink,
now.
wink.
We're in the middle of this.
Yeah. So her good-natured self wasn't that perfect. So one thing that Aretha did not like was when other up-and-coming black female singers were cramping her style. She had a bit of a niche thing. She was like, "Oh, you're doing my soul bit, not friends." So Martha Reeves, a younger pop singer, hugely inspired by Aretha, had picked up singing Aretha's songs at some of her live shows. When the two met, Aretha said, "So, I heard you've been performing my songs," and then gave Reeves a death stare for what seemed to be a couple minutes. And Reeves being somewhat starstruck and then also threatened, just said she wouldn't do it again. And Aretha left and never talked to her. Yeah, she left. She was angry, but she was satisfied.
I mean,
I'm taking no shit.
I mean, Tom, I feel like, I know you do your heavy hole thing, but
That's a podcast.
I feel like you've met people that you were a star of, and then they turned out to be a dickhead. I don't want to out you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, who have I met? Yeah, you're right. That's happened a few times. Not on the podcast, luckily. Everyone,
Well, not on the podcast, but I mean on tour and stuff.
just in life.
Yeah, Heavy Hole, everyone we've talked to there is pretty cool, down to earth so far. Fingers crossed. But yeah, no, that's happened. You just don't meet your idols.
Yeah,
like fuck your
don't
idols.
meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you're doing a podcast and you want to invite someone on your show, make sure you don't fucking love their show.
Dude,
make sure you're just using them for publicity.
Yeah, next week on Roast Mortem, Mark Maron.
Yeah. Whatever that guy does.
John McAfee.
So what she did with Reeves there, a little hypocritical because a lot of her songs were covers as well. But, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways. This is probably Aretha's biggest public character flaw. She would give hell to anybody who she saw as a threat to her act. On very petty levels. Over time, Aretha became a typical rock star who would shit on new artists and throw hissy fits if things didn't go her way. She had a reputation of being hard to work with. Now, that is coming from normal people. So on the rock star spectrum, she probably wasn't that bad.
No, she's not fucking The Who, like Keith Richards you did, throwing fucking shit out of a window.
Keith Moon. Keith Richards is somehow alive. That scarecrow of a man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He looks terrible.
God
Yeah.
made Adam and Eve, and Adam was just like, "Who's that?" And God's like, "That's Keith. He's been here before me."
I'm pretty sure he was one of those guys who had a 14-year-old heroin girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
when
just
he was in
stayed
his
14 every
Well, if
mid-30s.
you're
year.
rich, you can do heroin, I guess.
Yeah. If you're rich, you should do heroin.
Yeah.
You should try it out.
It keeps you young.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Urethra.
No,
I
we
didn't
made
even
that
mean to
joke
make
once.
that joke. I
did.
didn't
I know
mean
that-
to.
Come on, Travis.
Aretha Franklin, she wasn't she one of the original, like, quote, divas?
Yeah.
So, like,
But divas has been that term has become a bad thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, diva was just like strong, powerful woman who sings songs and wears cool outfits.
Yep.
You know?
oh, okay.
And now I can't.
And then it turned into, and then we started seeing a trend in these people who were very successful in doing this, but also tremendous bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well-
you can be a very strong, powerful person, and there's a fine line between being an asshole and being strong and powerful. There's like a very fine line you're walking here.
Now to me, diva is just exclusively like a word for like a pornography title. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Deep Throat Diva's 27. That's the only time I see that word nowadays.
See, to me, it means a cross-dresser.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of that
Diva.
RuPaul
That's
shit,
what it is.
and it's also wrestling, the wrestling divas. You know,
Yeah.
It's weird. Lexicon treadmills and all that.
yeah, it's I don't know. Divas didn't have such a negative connotation to the average person. Now it's like there's like a stuck up kind of
Stigma.
yeah, I guess stigma
Connotation.
stigma,
Yeah.
yeah. Because like I hear diva, like when someone's being a diva, they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that the title of diva that she was given meant that she was an asshole. Like,
No,
these eggs are not done medium
Like prima
well.
donna.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's like anything else. It progresses and becomes worse over time.
Mike, do you know what planet you're on right now, man?
Yeah, I'm just patting Dahlia.
That's not a planet. Petting Dahlia is not a planet. Can I get as drunk as you are high? Can we have a competition?
Yeah,
Like,
Travis,
you get
drink
more high, I'll get more drunk.
I'm not high. I'm on CBD.
Oh, yeah, CBD. Whatever, dude. Crystal meth.
All right, Travis, drink more beer.
Lots of beer.
So, yeah, she's the diva. She would throw hissy fits, but, like, nothing compared to what little Jewish girls do today. The divorce proceedings took a while, and Ted acted like one of those crazy asshats. You remember she's still married to Ted White.
Yeah.
So the divorce proceedings began, and they took a while. And he was one of those guys who would, drive past the house and follow her places when she was out. Yeah, he was a
great.
stalker.
The reason restraining orders exist.
Exactly. So once Clarence actually had to shoo away Ted with a revolver.
Is that the right
Shoo.
verb? Shooing?
Yeah,
Shoo.
shoo. Scram.
Click. Shoo.
Get out of here.
Click.
You're bugging me.
One of these cylinders is going to be loaded. Click.
Jeez.
I mean, he's a reverend. When he shoots, he means it.
Yeah, you shoot straight.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
shoots straight into a 13-year-old.
It has come full circle.
This podcast. Ooh.
Patreon.com.
When Ted-
Morningscast.
When Aretha and Ted's divorce was final, she spun into a big depression and missed more of her studio sessions and concerts than she even attended that year. This was 1969. That kind of became part of her bag. As she was down, she wouldn't show up to big events. Big ones. One incident of her was trying to bail on a show, actually landed her in jail.
Oh,
Really?
was it Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Huck Jam?
Stop talking about that. I don't understand what you're talking about.
What was that?
Okay,
Foreign? Foreign speak?
Yeah, what is a boom boom huck jam?
Yeah. So anyway, she's in Italy, right? And the promoter had the contract worded up that she at least needed to be in Italy during the times of her set.
That's a big country.
Yeah,
Big
exactly.
boot-shaped
at least
country.
You could. It was one of those things like, all right, look, we know you don't show up to every show, but you still need to be here so we can deal with money. Because if she wouldn't show up, obviously she wouldn't get all the money.
Right.
But she would get some up front. So it was just one of those deals where it was like, all right, we know you're going to fuck this up. So all you have to do is be in this fucking country
At this time.
so we can handle the money shit with the contract if you fuck it up. So just hang tight. So anyway, she tried to board a plane to Paris, but the promoter had a few officers waiting at the airport, and they actually detained her for a night.
Damn.
Until they figured out contract shit. Just fucking ridiculous. Like I get it. You're depressed. You don't want to go to shows. You're setting ground floor for Axl Rose of Guns N' Roses, and
Never heard of it.
just stay there. Axl Rose would just be. He would make people wait like 3 or 4 hours. Like they were Guns N' Roses were supposed to be on at 8. He would show up at 8, and then just stay in the green room
Yeah.
doing blow and jerking off.
Rinse and repeat.
until like midnight. And good times.
All the squares
Welcome
go
to
home
the
before
I
jungle.
don't see them.
How could you not occupy your time in Italy? Like, they have DiGiorno's every other house. Like, because it's not delivery, it's Italy.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, you knock on a door over there. They go, "We're not opening up. We don't do delivery."
And they hand you a pepperoni pizza. There
Yeah,
you go.
they
You're
just
done.
slide it under
Night
the door.
Approved.
Speaking of pepperoni pizza,
Really?
she got really, really into eating. She'd be cooking food for the band and the studio hands while everyone sat around in the studio waiting for her to start singing.
I don't know how.
She's
I
like,
feel
hey,
about
it's my
that.
studio time. I got $1 billion. I'm going to cook for everyone here. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, thanks. Kind of want to go home.
You're gonna have some of this slow pot cook. I'm doing great with English tonight.
Dude, I'm doing great with English in this show.
Hot pot cooking is what I meant.
You guys are making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry now, too, dude. So Franklin married her second husband, Glenn Turman, on April 11th, 1978.
What was his name?
Glenn Turman.
Yeah, Glenn!
Well, she is another guy that sounds like he has a stamp collection.
Yeah, really. She was into those guys, I guess. He seemed all right overall. Aretha started writing some really boring albums at this point. I guess when she was happy, she wrote like garbage.
Is this like the 80s now? Or?
Artists.
This is 78. We're approaching the 80s, you know.
I mean,
she went through a bit of a disco phase at this point, too, which fucking sucked. I'll get into that. Like I said, writing really boring shit. She also adopted terrible fashion sense around this time.
didn't
example.
we all?
One TV special that she appeared on, she came out randomly dressed as a tacky 70s Nefertiti, singing with her arms by her side, as to only raise them at the last note of the song when she'd be able to reveal, with a big, wide open stretch of the arms,
Yeah.
that there were wings attached to this awful outfit. No one asked for this. There was no Egyptian-themed set pieces or anything.
I got
people
feathers.
were like...
That's hot.
It was weird because at this point she wasn't like... She was still shapely. She wasn't huge. She still had a bit of that set. Yeah, she had a bit... You know, she had it going still.
Yeah.
But people were very aware of how bad this fashion was. Now, keep in mind,
Well-
this is Soul Train times.
Right. I just
it's
imagine
hard.
like a 5-year-old Bono watching this and be like, I'm going to take that bitch, put her on some rigging, throw her into the wall. Call it Spider-Man.
He did do that. He actually did do that to
Got
people.
away with it.
Do that to people. And that's why you don't wear fucking wings under your arms. Bono's out
Bono,
there. He's
yeah.
looking for you.
So, yeah, Aretha was in a time where everyone was dressing poorly, she managed to outdress them.
That's talent.
Yeah.
God.
She later on did admit that her choices were awful and that she was a little too liberated.
Is that what she's going with?
Yeah. I mean, the fog of disco had clouded everyone's judgment. This is when she came out with the album La Diva, which is, hands down, the worst Aretha Franklin album.
I hate that title.
It's very sad. You're listening to it, and it's like, this is a lot of cocaine. This is a lot of whiskey.
I don't want to hear it.
Is it like
You want to hear a sample?
Yeah, I can hear a little bit of it.
What were we saying, Cody?
is it like slit your wrist depressing, or is it just not put together well?
It's
What's
like-
the
it's like-
downside?
It's like if you made disco more cartoony than it already is. Check it out.
I love this. What's wrong with this?
I'm digging it. Smoking discos.
Oh, interesting.
It's so
This is way better than everything I've heard. This is better than R.A.S.P.A.C. Tabai.
Doesn't seem technical.
if I just put together like the most stock disco
Yeah.
track and was just like, hey Travis, write lyrics that are just like smoking disco, everybody's dancing. Like it's
Forced.
Generic.
All right.
it's just really uninspired because compared to the rest of her catalog, which is really good,
Well,
it had like soul and it had power behind it. This was just like, I too can be a Spice Girl.
Yeah, I got that vibe.
All right, so here's a warning. I know you're listening. Lizzo, when crystal meth becomes normalized, don't get on board.
I've never heard a Lizzo song.
It's pretty good.
Is she?
Yeah.
So she releases that shit show of an album. I think she even regretted that one, La Diva. Sunday, June 10th, 1979. C.L. Franklin, Daddy Franklin, was shot twice during an attempted robbery at his home in Detroit.
What is going on with Detroit?
Ooh.
he was taken to Henry Ford Hospital.
Oh, no. He's not a car.
Vroom, vroom! I am Clarence.
So he remained in a coma for the next 5 years, and then he died.
Wow,
Good.
that's an expensive death.
Yeah.
Oh, that villain is dead. Yeah.
I mean, he had a lot of assets because he had a billion Cadillacs and shit. So I'm pretty sure he was able to. The children were able to sell off his shit and make him pay for it.
But it was just all in Cadillacs, and the buyers only wanted them in bulk, so they had to let a lot go on the down low.
Yeah, they definitely lost a few.
Yeah.
In 1980, her Atlantic contract lapsed, and she wasn't looking to sign again. She wasn't happy with the way her last 3 dumpy albums were promoted. So Franklin signed with Clive Davis and his new record label, Aretha. Same year, she performed at London's Royal Albert Hall in front of Queen Elizabeth.
Just to circle back a little bit, I hate when artists just produce shit and they blame it on the marketing team. It's like, oh,
yeah,
you didn't do it right. And it's like, no, bitch. Come to earth.
Yeah, and Aretha she never really was in bad light in the public eye.
Uh-huh.
So it was definitely very diva of her.
Yeah.
To blame it on them, because obviously they were bad albums. Like, I think she even said so later on, that it was like she had a killer time at the beginning of her Atlantic, and then she got too high,
Yeah, it's like,
happens.
dude, like if you buy some oysters and you wait too long and then you eat them after 3 weeks, you're going to have bad albums.
Too long. You're going to have bad bum.
Yeah, album.
All right, wake up.
Now, due to her heavy drinking, she was pretty hard to work with. But people still had faith in her. Like I said, typical rock star shit. And Aretha's career did pick up again as she played more shows and released a few more killer albums.
Nice.
Do you know what her drink of choice was?
I was just wondering that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I know it was the Cools. That's what she liked smoking. And I'm pretty sure she was a whiskey person.
Tom, don't say... Yeah, I was going to say, don't say Old English.
Old-fashioned.
Oh, well, I mean, look, we've tried really hard to dance that line of racist jokes, and I'm just not willing to make the Henny one here.
Well, I mean, Cools makes sense.
That's Bible. That was her cigarette.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can find receipts.
Signed in blood.
Here's my little note to the listeners that I wrote while I was writing this.
There are people listening?
Aretha Franklin is not the best roast mortem material. She is not a shithead, which is heartbreaking to me because I like to research shitheads.
You really wanted it. I felt it in your voice.
Yeah, I'm upset. To clear the air here, I was told by a close friend, who I will not name, that she was a racist piece of shit. But I found absolutely no solid evidence of that being the case.
She's no Michael Jordan?
No.
Because Michael Jordan is a racist piece of shit.
A little slander here and there, never.
No, it's known.
He's hilarious because he hates black people.
That's what I mean.
I've
yeah.
heard.
Him and Jesse Peterson should start a show.
A podcast, if you will.
That's amazing. You know that guy?
yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, with this whole no evidence that she's a racist, she was definitely petty and acted like a dick here and there. But like that's pretty normal for someone in her situation. So I don't really give a fuck about that. In fact, I think Aretha's pretty cool.
I like you, Aretha.
In fact, researching this episode, it fucking sucked for me.
I'm sorry, dude.
The biography, Queen of Soul, by Mark Begois, is a solid piece of work detailing her career, but doesn't provide any juice. The other one, which is Respect by David Ritz, is an attempt at getting some juice in there, but it's pretty empty. Aretha managed to keep her life really private. She wasn't agoraphobic, but she acted like it. She had extreme tendencies concerning her privacy. She had a terrible fear of flying and rarely flew by the age of 35.
You know, I think as much as we like to roast an asshole, I feel like Aretha Franklin seems fucking really cool, but she was just surrounded by shit. Like you said, all these other people are fucking assholes.
And I feel like that counts because like it did well in the Jimi Hendrix episode because
well, he also was an asshole.
He was a piece of shit surrounded by pieces of shit, but it's just,
Yeah. Yeah, it's all true. So I don't know. It's like this is a weird roast mortem, I guess, because it's more of a history lesson with some guys talking about soup on their head.
Yeah.
Check it out.
So one thing I didn't like, I mentioned that the Mark Bago book that I listened to, that he would preface stories for totally normal conflicts with the most dramatic introduction. So he'd be like, and then something terrible happened that day.
Oh, just the.
She got a flat tire, but they got to the show on time. It's like, ugh,
Why even?
what the fuck? You know, I'm listening to this. I'm like, just give me something. And like, nothing happened. The worst story I heard was, I'm listening, I'm waiting for juice. When the narrator goes off about how she yelled at a limo driver for taking a bunch of wrong turns, making her almost miss curtain. She got to the venue on time and everything was fine.
Oh, good.
Yell at that limo driver all you fucking want.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? He's fucking up your stuff. He's hired work and he's fucking up. Yell at him.
Get me to the place.
Yeah. I also had to watch the Wendy Williams show looking for more dirt on Aretha.
I am so sorry.
Aretha. And that fucking sucked, dude. That fucking sucked. Wendy Williams is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And she's like watching a Patrick Bateman.
Yeah. There's like no soul there.
She's fucking insane.
Well, we can chalk that up as shit that Aretha Franklin did, not being more interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. Time to wrap this bitch up. Aretha spent her days at home cooking and smoking cigarettes.
Nice.
She had several health scares, probably from smoking and boozing and eating soul food. She performed at many prestigious events, such as Bill Clinton and Barack Obama's inauguration, and WWE's WrestleMania 3.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, who was the champion? Can we do a search for who was the champion of WrestleMania 3? Was it Stone Cold Steve's?
I think it was Hulk.
Hold on, I'll find out.
Wait, yeah, WrestleMania 3, that'd be like early 90s, right?
Let's see. It was Hulk Hogan.
Oh! I was right.
Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Oh, that's
Who
great.
won though?
And who won?
Hulk, come on. He's Hollywood.
I don't know, dude. Andre was over.
You hear that smooth brain shit? I just knew that.
I can't find this Wikipedia.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Wrestling won.
One of them
Yeah, one of the
Vince
wrestlers
McMahon,
won.
Vince McMahon
was
won
the Hulk,
in the
right?
long run.
He always wins.
Yep, Vince won, and I got fired. So anyway, February 2017, Aretha announced that will be her final year of touring. When she wanted to show up. However, she scheduled some events in 2018, but then canceled them.
That was recent.
Yes. Now,
How did Aretha die?
on August
Unfortunately.
13th, 2018.
Wow.
Franklin was reported to be gravely ill at her home in Riverfront Towers, Detroit. Franklin died at her home August 16th, 2018, age 76. Now,
Not bad.
Nope.
she could, for smoking as long as she did and drinking and, the stress, she made it for a while. One sticky thing about her death was that she didn't write a will until she was unable to write. So,
Yeah.
if you want to do yourself a favor,
Yep.
Google Aretha Franklin's will and look up the pictures of it. It's fucking hysterical.
Really?
Yeah.
Paint me a picture.
Have you ever seen pubic hairs that fell on white tile next to a next to a toilet?
Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah. It's like a bunch of those on a paper. Like
That's quite the most disgusting paper.
Wait, did she have more children besides the one that she had when she was 12 and 16?
She had 4 children in total.
Okay.
And they all seemed to get along all right, but there was an issue with her estate, everyone trying to figure out what they got.
Right.
Because it
owned what
was
rights?
pubic hairs.
On a
Yeah,
tile.
because she was obviously dying, and that was this woman's last thought was, "Oh shit, the kids."
Is it really pubic paper on? Is it pubic hair on paper?
No, the
Yeah.
squiggly nature
Oh.
of pubic hair and how that looks. Imagine flattening that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like one of those. Well, like one of those when you do with a leaf. You put a leaf in a notebook.
I know what pubes look like.
It looks like this was written in 2010.
Wow. She must have been on the decline for a while then.
She might have been drinking.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
It's weird. It's a weird will. Have fun making heads or tail of it. But anyway, that's Aretha Franklin.
Wow. Cause of death just being old and a smoker.
It was pancreatic. It wasn't pancreatic cancer. There was a problem with it, like a pancreatitis kind of thing. I don't know.
Just pancreas not good no more.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I mean, 76, right?
Yeah, for that, not bad.
That's a nice lifetime.
I think 76.
So thank you to my unnamed friend who sent me down this fucking shit show of an investigation.
Oh.
Tom, who is the unnamed friend? Can I just
Name the unnamed friend.
It was,
Okay.
yeah, and I trust. He's never steered me wrong. The guy's always done good by me.
Yeah.
But I guess he heard
Bastard.
I guess he heard some stories.
Well,
probably saw
I'm
it
glad
on
to drunkenly set the record straight with you gentlemen tonight. Then.
Yeah, Aretha was okay.
I liked her.
Yeah, I like that song. Respect.
Yeah,
I like
about to
respect.
say,
her dad
much
was
respect.
a pedophile, and her husband
sucks.
Ted White was a penis knuckle.
Yeah, I think this is really interesting because, it was a good person that just drew in butt plugs.
Yeah, it's like a flower fertilized with human feces.
Yes.
Also, because she liked to make soul food, what is your favorite Southern food?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this.
I
So,
would like to know. I would like to know because there's a lot of different things.
Imagine you're her studio crew and she's making you stay late because she's cooking you up something. Remember you said that?
Yeah. So there
So,
was
like-
there was one thing that she did cook. She said you take 6 to 8 pieces of chicken, depending on whatever you like. It could be dark or light, and you put it in a pan, and then you just put a pound of butter in it, and and then put a little rosemary and salt, and
I
then
love butter.
you let that slow
Man, I'm
cook.
so hungry now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
that
and,
sounds fucking banging.
Yeah, she actually was looking to make a cookbook at one point.
Yo,
But that was in that was in the 80s, and the label she was with, Arista, was not going to let that happen
why not?
because she was actually ballooning a lot at that time, and the pop world is very cruel, and they were like, "Hey, you're a pop star. We don't want to point out your size.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need any easy fucking jokes lobbed our way."
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see what that cookbook was like, and I don't agree with them at all. It's a fucking cookbook. Like,
I don't think Beyonce could write a cookbook.
well,
I
to
think
be
she could
fair-
just.
Probably has.
I think that Beyonce could probably just write a book about slave labor.
That's true.
oh
as
yeah,
well.
true.
But
Wow.
honestly, if I see a skinny bitch on a cookbook, I'm like, it's not that great.
Yeah, unless it's Julia Childs.
There you go.
Oh
That's quality stuff right there.
no!
Look
But
at
what's
that
your
double
favorite?
chin.
What's your favorite soul food though?
I went over to that place in Huntington, Oldfields, and they do all that Southern barbecue shit.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Everything they have on the menu is excellent. I've had it all. It's a small menu. They have a buttermilk chicken that is
Ooh.
to die for. I don't die
Collard
for food
greens.
that much, so you know.
We
What
all
about-
will
what-
eventually.
What about you, Mike? Southern cooking.
I went to this soul place in Philadelphia. It was like Auntie something.
Auntie Anne's?
No, not Auntie Anne's pretzels.
Yeah, I
It was
went to
like
this place in the mall
Auntie,
called Auntie Anne's.
something like a soul name at the end of it. But I had like fried chicken and waffles there. It was pretty good.
Yeah, can't go wrong with
Can't
that.
go, yeah, can't go.
Cody.
Steak fried chicken,
Yeah,
That's
man.
good, too,
soul
yeah.
food. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Chicken fried
Slide-
steak, you mean?
I think.
No. Yeah.
I think one of my favorites is either the cornbread where like the corn is still in it. You know,
I've never
like
seen
that's,
that.
like, chunks of corn.
Yeah, that's good
It's
stuff.
Either that or the string beans that are done and there's like bacon in it and like bacon fat,
Oh,
like
yeah.
really fucking like heavy fucking string beans, you know?
All right, well, no one wants to hear about what we eat.
Dude, everyone wants to hear about what I excrete, not what I eat.
That's like the first. You've been doing so many like impromptu musical numbers. That's the first rhyme you've nailed all night.
Dude, well, you know what? I'm just like one of them poets, but you wouldn't know it.
All right.
Tom, you should get Tom. You should do who's the William S. Burroughs? You gotta get back on your beat, boys.
Oh, I get so tired after I do those. Yeah, I'm going to do... the next person I bring in is going to be a dirtbag. They're not going to be a nice person. But also, I as much as it pained me. In retrospect, I just kicked my ass less than a month ago to do the whole Frank Sinatra research.
That was good.
And that was killer. That was way too much material. That was like 5 scripts worth of shit. So hey, whatever. I'm taking it easy.
Respect.
Yeah. RESP bar T. Tell me what you
really
need
want
of
some
me.
Southern mac and cheese. That's really good too.
You know what? You know what kind of respect I need from our audience? Their Patreon respect.
Yes.
Go to
that'd be
patreon.com/roastmortemcast. Give us your money. We'll give you something in return. Promise. And we also have a merch store up now.
Yeah.
That's teespring.com/store/roast-mortem-cast.
Yes.
Something like that. You'll
I
find
gotta
it.
fix that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You'll see the link on our Twitter.
At the end of the episode again.
Why is it always at the
Dropping his
end?
beer at the end of the episode. It's his new
God
bag.
damn it.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Anyone else want to say shit?
You can follow me at Travis Legion with 2 E's. You can check out Instagram. You can check out Twitter. Check out Facebook. You can probably, if you find my live journal, you win $1 million.
What if I find your FetLife? Life?
$1 million or what?
You win a million spanks on the behind.
Ooh.
All
I'm
right,
intrigued.
take that in your ears. All right, night, everyone.
Thank you, Shane.
Bye, doggies. Danky, shanky,
Shane.
Are you tired of not paying for your favorite product? Patreon.com/roastmortemcast.
What's a Patreon, you say?
It's a website where fans can support their favorite content creators.
Sounds like a deal.
Deal.
This is only if you got the money.
We got koozies, we got custom obituaries, we got stickers, we have movie commentaries that you download and watch with said movie. It's like you have friends in the room.
What vinyl rock history?
You're wrong.
You love history.
How much money can I give?
Anything will help. We like doing the show. We're going to do it anyway.
Mike's losing us money at every corner. Roast Mortemcast is here to help you take a load off that wallet.
It's all been arranged just for us to get your money.
I'm telling you that you need to give money to Roast Mortem Podcast so we can do it even better.
Are you tired of exploiting these 4 men?
Or you could even sponsor. You got a stupid-ass business? I'd love to talk about your business.
Point to point.
I'm too busy to read. Where can I find this podcast?
So call today at patreon.com/roastmortemcast. That's ROASTMORTEMCAST at patreon.com/roastmortemcast.
Yeah, if you want to buy me a beer, that's cool too, you know.